Well, this went a lot better than I thought it would. Not that I thought this was going to go bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know if I anticipated dominance. And what we got today in Los Angeles, in front of a lot of Commanders fans and people that lie and say they're Chargers fans, is we got dominance. Jaden is back. The best quarterback in the NFC is back, and he is healthy. This was a sensational performance. They being the Chargers, have called it quits. They got backup quarterbacks in. That's Trey Lance getting some action in there, Lynnell. Wrap this bad boy up. They don't got timeouts. It's 2 plays and over. Washington's 3-2. This was a sensational win for the Commanders.
Yeah, that was a statement victory for Washington, especially when you consider all the question marks they had surrounding them defensively coming into this one. There were a couple of moments of frustration for the defense, but I thought all in all, really good group. They got back to the standard today defensively of running and hitting. You saw guys swarming to the football. You take out Justin Herbert's run, and Washington, just a really, really solid performance on the defensive end. You didn't really see them give up too many explosives. Von Miller just racked up a sack, so that's always good to see.
That's 2 for him or 1.5 for him today. I need to see how they scored it.
Yeah, but all in all, man, I think we said it a lot during the pregame show that this D-line needed to be impactful. This D-line needed to make their presence felt. I think they did that throughout the course of the game. And Justin Herbert, it felt like, was under siege all day. We talked about it during halftime, though, man. Turnovers come in bunches.
Yeah.
You got one in the first half. You've now had 3 in your last 2 games after not having any at all throughout the first month of the season, though. So shout out to the Commanders' defense forcing a turnover. That Mikey Sanders still picked.
I mean, how timely
the one that ends
that?
The game.
That sealed the deal, because this would have been a game had that play, because that was going to be a touchdown. I mean, Keenan Allen was wide open. It was right where they wanted it, and Johnny Newton was able to get his hand up, and Mikey Sanders still with the ball skills to be able to make the play. The 2 turnovers, as you mentioned, were game changers.
Yeah.
And, dare I say, if this is ahead of myself, I apologize, they're season changers. Yeah. There's a big difference between being 3-2 with your quarterback and your running back playing the way that they did today versus being 2-3 straggling from moral victories. And thankfully, we're getting the better of those 2 options. I mean, this was as good as it could have been for the Commanders today.
I totally agree, man. It is it's good to see them bounce back. I'm glad that, for Joe Witt's sake, I'm glad that the defense got it going. But here's the thing, for all the folks that talk negatively about Joe Witt as a defensive coordinator, he schemed up a lot of good pressures this afternoon to try and get Justin Herbert under pressure, try to get him under siege. You saw several times where Washington was able to get a linebacker coming through free, all because Joe Witt Jr. able to scheme it up, man. I thought he was absolutely awesome. Good guys back on top, man. 3-2, heading into a massive, massive showdown next Monday night against the Chicago Bears.
I mean, the perfect homecoming for Jaden Daniels. He had his first 2 drives that were like, all right, let's see this out. Let's wait this out. And then he changed the cleats out of the pink cleats to his normal cleats, the dark cleats with the yellow laces. And once the cleat change was made, Jaden Daniels was the Jaden Daniels of old. I think that, Lynnell, this was the best that Jaden has looked since the game against Detroit in the divisional round of the playoffs. Stat-wise, it's not going to jump out. You'll see a lot more incompletions than you're accustomed to seeing, but he was sensational in the way that he managed the game. That's not a bad thing when your quarterback is good at managing the game. He managed the game. He made big-time throws when he needed to. He made big-time decisions and runs when he needed to. I thought he was excellent. He was superb. And he finally has a running back in the backfield with him. Wow, how nice is that to have a guy that can make big plays in the backfield with you?
Yeah, I thought, to your point, man, he was sharp. And I know it started off a little bit rocky with the 3 and out, but I think as this game got deeper, Jaden Daniels got more comfortable. My favorite play from him today, the deep shot to Luke McCaffrey, was awesome. And shout out to Luke.
What a throw, what a catch.
And Luke, so smart, so witty, football guy, right? Didn't even celebrate. Got right on the line of scrimmage. He knew they needed to spike it, and that's just good recognition from him. But my favorite play from Jaden Daniels today is when he's flushed out to the right, and he finds Jalen Lane 15, 16 yards downfield. It's something we haven't seen him do a lot. Normally when he is flushed to the right, he runs. When he's flushed to the left, he throws. So I'm super impressed with Jaden, man. This is the thing, though. Like, Marcus Mariota gave you 70 points in the span of 2 weeks. You saw on several different occasions today from Jaden why he is the guy, why he was Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. I mean, he is a dynamic cat at the quarterback position, man. He is.
They look like a great team today.
Yeah.
For the first time in 2025 against an opponent that is competent, they look like a great team. Are they a perfect team? No.
No.
But they look like a great team. And with number 5 healthy, all things are possible.
Yeah.
You really can't do a lot wrong with him being healthy. And we saw that today. And the exciting thing, Lynnell, is that it's only going to get better when Terry gets back. If Noah Brown comes back, it's only going to get better offensively because you still had Debo and everybody else. Like Jalen Lane caught 1 pass. McCaffrey caught 1 pass. He was always looking for Debo. Tay Martin caught a pass. Zach Ertz, I don't even know if Zach Ertz caught a pass. It was Debo and everybody else. When you get more skill position guys back, we are finally now seeing why we were so excited this offseason. We got a guy in the chat saying he was 80% today. Honestly, I hope to God that's true. Because if that was 80%, 100% is going to be a demon in the NFC. The NFC. We saw the best quarterback in the NFC today. It ain't no damn Jalen Hurts. It ain't no damn Jordan Love. With all due respect to Matt Stafford, I'm good. The best quarterback wears 5, and he plays in Washington, and we saw him today. Yeah, for sure. And I think this is something that you could build off of, man. The thing that I would say is hopefully after today, you all feel this way, Cliff feels this way. You once again have shown us what your identity should be offensively. It should be running the football first. Their run game, I know Jaden was great. I know the deep shot was great. They put up, 27 points today because of their ability to run the football, man. Yeah. Cliff is designing it up and drawing it up in a variety of different ways. He's been super duper creative with this. I am, honestly, he gets a lot of the credit today from me in terms of sticking with it. There were a couple of negative runs. There were a couple of runs that had no gain, but it didn't stop Cliff Kingsbury from continuing to pound the football. I thought Washington's offense and their rushing offense in particular is the reason for this W. If you are just joining us, we are live from our brewery out in Sterling. He is Lynnell Willingham. I am Denton Day. Washington jumps to 3-2 on the year with a big-time win over the Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to give some game balls out here momentarily. We want you to get involved in the chat on YouTube. You can tweet us as well at NELL_BTP at the Denton Day. Who are you giving game balls to? It's a victory, so we're going to get you 3. So we want 3 from you. Give me 3 game balls. We will get there. I want to give you some numbers, though, Lynnell, just to put this game into perspective from that standpoint. This is the first 100-yard performance of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's career, and it's going to be one of many. Yeah. We saw him in his, I would say, most pure form today. He did have 1 fumble, which was unfortunate, but he was as good as you are going to come. 111 yards, 14 carries, 2 tutties. Yeah. 2 tutties. 2. Thought he was awesome today, man. And the thing that I love with him is even when it looks like it's not all the way blocked up correctly, even when it looks like he's stopped for a loss, you continue to see the legs keep churning. The way he runs the football, man, he runs like his story is what his story is. We know all about it, man. A kid that thought he wasn't even going to make it to the National Football League based off of what happened during his final season in college, man. So I am thrilled for him. Super duper down-to-earth young man. And you can tell by the reaction of his teammates, man. They love him. He is a special back. I'm shooting my shot right now. There are 4 nominees for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is going to be one of them. Bill Merritt will be getting the invite and will be a part of the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Right now it's him and Emeka Egbuka. That's it. And it's a wide gap. And he has more touchdowns. Next. He does. He has more touchdowns now. So super duper impressed by Bill, man. Shout out to the offensive line. Shout out to Cliff Kingsbury. I think today, not to keep harping on it, man, like this is who they should be moving forward. Run the damn ball. Point blank, man. It's who you are. When they finally got the traditional running plays going, because they did not the first drive and really the first 2 drives, when they finally got the traditional running plays going, this team is borderline unstoppable on offense. Another 160 yards today. And it felt relatively easy. It felt like there was a lot more that they could have done had they wanted to. This was as good. I mean, this was like Cliff in his bag. And again, I tweeted something that maybe wasn't the nicest thing about Cliff Kingsbury. I'll own that. But this was Cliff in his bag. If this is what Washington's offense is going to be, I don't know how you stop them. Because this is a good defense. Like, this Chargers team is a good defense. That's a top run defense. It's a top pass defense. It did not matter. It didn't matter at all.
Yeah, I just think their ability to stay ahead of the sticks, I thought was huge. The offensive line doesn't get enough credit. They were moving people all day today. I thought the tight ends and the tackles did a really good job blocking. It was a special performance, man, but I'm telling you, it's going to be on social media everywhere. I hope it goes viral because it should. Bill for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
This young man is as dynamic as they come. Adam Peters, I was grading him this past week in terms of the draft and free agency and the trades. He may not have gotten the other picks. They all may not have produced yet to this point. But Bill Merritt is a home run in the 7th round. He looks like grand slam at that. He looks like he is going to be one of the top 5 to 7 backs in football for a long, long time. He's special. The vision is there. The jump cuts, the leg strength. He just continues to run through contact. I love the way this kid plays, and hopefully he keeps getting opportunities, man.
So I want to address something that I see in the chat here that I think is really important. Our guy T. Rome chiming in, he's saying the third down conversions were clutch.
Yes.
You know, when I say that Jaden Daniels is back, that's one of the things that I mean. Because if you just look at the numbers, it's not that he had bad numbers, but his numbers aren't going to blow you away by any stretch of the imagination. But it was the way that they played that was very similar to what they did so well last year. And a part of that was on a 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 15, finding Jalen Lane for 16 yards. Going back to him after he had dropped a pass or after they had not connected on a pass earlier in that drive. Generally speaking, when you get a 3rd and 16 across the NFL, you're screwed.
Right.
Like, you're just trying to get the best position for your punter to send that thing away. That's not how this team operates because of Jaden Daniels. So I think that's a great point by T. Rome in the chat.
Yeah, it was huge, man. And, that was one of those plays that kind of, turned the fortune of the game, man. You were in 3rd and 16. Felt like your offense was still struggling to get things going, man. But Jaden Daniels, when he is under center, you've got a shot to do just about anything, man. Super duper 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 duper. Duper 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 duper. Duper excited to see 5 back, man.
All right.
He is the real deal.
Give me some game balls. We'll get to you in the chat in a second. We got a lot of them coming, so keep them coming. All right, Lynnell, we got 3. I got 3. You got 3. Give me a couple of game balls for Washington.
I want to start with Dorrance Armstrong, man. I thought his pressure off the edge was felt. I thought he did a good job squeezing and condensing things when they ran inside. And then most importantly, when they did try to get some plays on the edge, Dorrance a good job keeping the outside arm free. He quietly is still on pace for 17 sacks, man. This was his 4th sack.
He was great.
In 5th sack in 5 games, rather. So he just continues to make play after play after play, man. Dorrance Armstrong, awesome again.
So the game ball, the first game ball of 3 for me, this one is a relatively obvious one as far as I'm concerned. He was the guy that changed the outcome, I would say, of this game. Quan Martin forcing that fumble completely changed the game. Los Angeles had the potential of going up 17-0. And when you go up 17-0, you very rarely lose football games. And on the caveat, the flip side is that if you are down 17-0, you very, very rarely win football games. So when Quan Martin forced that fumble, Lattimore jumped on that fumble. By the way, Lattimore had a pretty decent game as well. He's not getting my game ball. But that was a game-changing play, and then immediately what happened was that Washington and Jaden marched right down the field. It was the best drive to that point of the entire game, entire season. So Quan Martin gets my first game ball. That play was not season-saving, Lynnell.
Yeah.
But it was season-saving.
Here's what I will say about Quan, who you just gave a game ball to, and then Mikey, who I'm about to give a game ball to. 2 dudes that were roasted on these very airwaves by our pal Steve Sucher, who is the color analyst for Maryland football on the radio. He went back and watched the tape last week, and I think his commentary was spot on the way that Quan and Mikey Sanders still had played. Both of those 2 dudes came in here and had a point to prove. I thought Mikey had a really good play stopping the run. The interception obviously comes up huge. It was a big performance by Mikey Samerstill as well today. Didn't hear his name called a lot. And on the flip side, you didn't hear Lat McConkey's name called a lot either. And I know he drew that assignment more times than not. I know it's one game, but it sure does feel like this is a group that is back. You come home for Chicago next week, a game in which if you win, this town's going to be on fire.
Yeah, oh my God. Could you imagine that? Game ball number 2 is going to be Bill. He was excellent. This was the best Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt game that we have seen. It was the first time that he was given double-digit carries, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it was the first time he goes over 100 yards. He had big-time runs, obviously 2 touchdowns to go with it as well. We're now putting him in conversations with Emeka Ibuka as the early favorite for Rookie of the Year on the offensive side of the football. He was as good as you could have asked a running back to be today against a really, really good defense. All of us have been waiting since the offseason to just give him the football, To hell with Brian Robinson, give him the football. And he gave us a game that Brian Robinson would not have given us today. No. And I'm also, Lynnell, I'm making this official. I'm closing the book on any comparisons from Bill to Brian Robinson because he's so far and away better and so far and away at least better for this offense that it is not a comparison anymore, outside of the fact that they both just played here. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think he's just getting started, man. Like, that's the beautiful part about what we saw from Bill today. I think he's just scratching the surface in terms of how good he could actually be. When people go back and watch the all 22 of today's game, and you see the plays that he is making before he even breaks the line of scrimmage, you understand why he's so special. The vision is real. The jump cuts were awesome. I think he just continues to make play after play week in and week out, and the more and more he gets touches, the more and more NFL fans, not just us in the DMV, are going to be hip to who Bill Krosky-Merritt is.
All right, so I got one final game ball, and I'm giving it to quarterback number 5. QB1, the best quarterback in the NFC. Jaden Daniels is getting a game ball. What you saw offensively today from him was the poise that I felt like was missing in the first 2 games. It was the decision-making that I felt like was missing in the first 2 games. You knew that it would come. Those first 2 games were effectively preseason games for him, but the fact that he was able to get back right, be accurate with the football, make good decisions, utilize his legs, but not to an over-the-top extent. Although that one play where he kind of got twisted up, I was horrified. I was catching my breath over here. But Jaden Daniels was excellent today, and if that's 80%, if it's 75%, whatever it is, if he's not done, everybody better watch out. This is the best quarterback in the NFC, and he showcased it today.
Yeah, just continuing to make play after play after play. And I had talked about it this week, like in baseball, when you got your ace on the mound, I think your outfielders move through the ball a little bit better. Your shortstop is better fielding ground balls, and so on and so forth. I just think there is a confidence and a shot in the arm that this group gets when Jaden Daniels is under center, and I thought he was awesome. Our guy, Benchwarmer Bats, just wrote it in the chat. My final game ball is going out to the defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr. I totally agree with you in terms of he's not getting enough love for today. He schemed up a couple of different pressures. Jordan McGee being used as a blitzer, shot out of a cannon, was awesome. Bobby Wagner being used as a blitzer. Him overloading sides of the line of scrimmage. On that goal line stuff that Washington had, when they stuffed the run with Javon Kinlaw,
beautiful.
You could tell by their alignment that they knew the football was going. That's an example of your coach getting your guys prepared. Not the other stuff that you all are talking about, thinking that it's his fault, the busted coverages, and it's his fault that they're missing tackles. He is the right guy to be leading this group. I think it will continue.
I got to say, though, if this is what it took, a week of calling for his job, for this defense to play well, I would have started calling for his job 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I would have just said, hey, from the jump. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to make it, and then this defense balls out. I think it's important to mention, Lynnell, and I'm glad you bring up that goal line stand. The missed tackles were a first quarter thing.
Yeah.
Outside of the first quarter, it's not like they were missing tackles left and right the way that they were against Atlanta. I thought the fundamentals, it felt like they slowed down a little bit. When Jaden went and led that touchdown drive, it felt like the defense slowed down a little bit. Now, they still don't play great zone defense, and Keenan Allen is just a fiend for that sort of thing. Yeah. He just is perfect when it comes to finding the cushion in the zone. That's going to be something you're going to have to work on moving forward. But in terms of the tackling, I thought they were really, really solid from midway through the second quarter for the remainder of the game when they needed to.
Yeah, they came up big. Now, I will say this. does help that Marion Hampton went out with an ankle injury.
It does.
But
it's not like he wasn't slicing and dicing them the way that other running backs have.
No, I thought, they continued to be really, really good today. And I think the young core of Washington stood up in this football game. Johnny Newton gets some love, too, for the deflection on the Mikey Sainristil goal line pick. Tay Martin, the final wide receiver, brought into camp, once again coming up with another big-time catch today. Jordan McGee shot out of a cannon when blitzing, looked good. Luke McCaffrey obviously coming up big. The Luke McCaffrey thing is real.
It's very real.
I am here to say it. The Luke McCaffrey thing is real.
He's not ever going to be a guy that catches, 7 passes for $150.
Right.
But he going to catch 3, well, hopefully 3, but he going to catch a couple for big plays.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing there, man, is him seizing his moment, seizing the opportunity. I think it's really easy when things aren't going your way and then the public noise begins to get louder and louder and louder about, what you're not doing. And for you to not tuck your tail between your legs, for you to continue to show up and go to work each and every day, I think he deserves a ton of credit. The other thing I love about Luke McCaffrey, can't believe I'm now giving you multiple things that I love about Luke McCaffrey. Said it during the halftime show, he is on every special teams unit for this group.
Every single one.
He is important. He does his assignment, understands the job, runs down hard, can make tackles. He's just a football player, man, and it's not sexy as a receiver for him. I know he came up with a big-time catch today. Hopefully he continues to get more opportunity, but I thought for him, man, just for his confidence, the last 2 weeks have been huge.
So let's look at some of these game balls. I got some stuff on Twitter. I got some stuff in the YouTube chat. If you want to give us your game ball, please feel free to do so. Our guy David Harrison of the Locked On Commanders podcast says that Tyler Biadasz should get a game ball. Biadasz was, I thought, sensational. Our guy Wanted says that Mikey Sainristil, Bill, and Tress Way should get a game ball. I will say, didn't see a lot of Tress Way in the second half. I like it that way. But I do think he did a great job on the roughing that got Washington the football back. Sean says the defense gets the game ball. Shut him out for 3 quarters. Let me rephrase that. Let me repeat that. The defense shut out Mr. What If Justin Herbert for 3 quarters.
Yeah. That was the crazy part about this, and that's why, it's dominating. 27 unanswered, man. That is big-time stuff from this Washington Commanders football team. And my biggest thing in terms of the defense, what I'm proud of, even today, didn't look good in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They weren't pointing fingers. They weren't looking around the sideline at each other like what the hell's going on. I saw this on Twitter, and maybe, just maybe, he was mic'd up today, and I hope he was. Apparently Bobby Wagner went scorched earth on the sideline and was cussing people out, so on and so forth, and hopefully lit a fire in this Commanders defense. I think Bobby is the type of leader where everyone respects his football acumen because he's been doing it for so long. But he doesn't strike me as the rah-rah, get you hype, cuss you out type of cat. I think Jaden is starting to wear that role, as you saw him cussing out linemen today for not getting set. For Bobby to speak up like that, you can't do it a bunch of different times or else it loses its mystique.
Cough, John Allen, cough.
Right, exactly. But when you pick your spots and do it, I think everyone responds. And I think the Commanders responded today to Bobby putting his foot up people's ass.
So we got a lot of people saying that Debo, Bill, and Mikey Sainristil should get a game ball. We got one guy in the chat saying that Javon Kinlaw, Stephen Black says Javon Kinlaw.
Big Javon.
He was really good on those short yardage situations. And there were a couple of plays where he broke into the backfield. He broke through that line like it was butter.
Yeah.
Hot knife through butter. He was in there. And it didn't matter if it was Hampton, whoever Los Angeles had at running back, and Kinlaw was right up in their grill.
I thought the most impressive piece of Kinlaw today is there are a couple of plays on when you go back and watch, you'll see he's beating double teams.
Yeah.
Beating double teams and then making the tackle, something that we thought was a foreign concept with John Allen and Deron Payne for several years. We kept using, they're getting doubled, they're getting doubled, they're getting doubled. Doesn't matter that he was getting doubled, man. He's beating dudes,
he's a playmaker.
Splitting it, getting upfield. I was super duper duper excited for him, man. They're showing the sights and sounds of Washington's locker room. Everyone dapping up Bill Merritt. I love this, man. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
As long as he, I will say the fumble thing was a little please, not another one. We've had young running backs here that have had the fumble issues. Outside of the fumble, though, I thought he played the perfect game. Because what we have not mentioned at this point, Lynnell, is that he caught a pass as well.
Yeah.
That was a massive pass, and it was a huge play for Washington.
Yeah, honestly. And I knew he'd be great as a pass catcher. I think we're worried about his pass pro. He is – I'm going to really take it a step further here and, like, really lay it all on the table for Bill Merritt. I'm going to look right in this camera when I say it. He's your most dynamic offensive weapon, and I don't think it's close. He's more dynamic than Terry. He's more dynamic than Debo. Jaden doesn't count because he's a quarterback. Of your skill group, Bill Merritt is your best guy right now, man. Screen game, find ways to get him the ball. He's now, to me, got to touch it 15 times a game. He needs the football, bro.
He touched it 16 times today for 150 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
that's how you get it
just
done, man.
Massive plays. I thought he was going to break one.
And I love the little celebration, too, like he's rolling dice, doing the whole bit. I love it, bro. Bill Merritt season.
He's bringing personality to the team.
Yes.
Not that they didn't have personality prior to the acquisition of Bill, but he's bringing personality to the team. I do see someone in the chat saying, shout out to Benjamin St. Just. Boy, it was
shout
nice
out to Ray
see him on
Charles,
the other
man.
team. Oh, that was so nice. He's trying to cover Debo Samuel. We knew how that was going to go. As soon as I would like to think, I don't know this for a fact because I'm not in the head of Jaden Daniels. I would like to think when Jaden is looking at the line of scrimmage and he sees 24 matched up with 1, he's like, the ball's going there because there's nothing that St. Just is going to do.
Yeah.
And that ended up being the case.
Honestly, and to his credit, talking about Benjamin St. Just, he has played pretty decently this year. Do you remember the catch that Debo had on the sideline over Benjamin St. Just?
Yes.
My heart melted.
Oh, so
Loved
good.
it.
So
Redemption
good.
personified, man. But I think it's going to be a good long week. I think people are excited, rightfully so. I'm just happy, more so than anything. And I know we're going to give the defense their flowers all week. I know we're going to talk about Bill Merritt all week. Dog, Cliff Kingsbury. Listening to hard 3-6 Mafia this morning. Gotta stay fly. I mean, he wasn't an offensive coordinator today that was trying to get a job in the offseason.
Thank God.
He coached the game like he was trying to win. And that's why you kept seeing Bill get the ball.
Boy, it's nice. Wow, it's nice to
nice
see
thing.
that. It's really, really nice to see that. A couple other things here before we close up shop here. Lynnell. Final numbers for Jaden at 231 yards and a touchdown. He outperformed Justin Herbert. You know, something that I do feel like is worth a mention, even though it felt like the defensive backfield was not sensational today, Justin Herbert went 22 of 29 for 166 yards. 22 completions for 166 yards.
You want me to show up
not
on Montgomery
very
County
good.
math? What is that? 166 divided by 22? 7.5
That's
yards of completion.
7.5 yards of completion.
It's actually
That's not really good.
No, not at all. When you think about the volume of passes that he threw.
For this high-octane Mr. What-If quarterback, I mean, I was expecting a lot more. They flashed a graphic up when we're sitting here at the bar, and he was like, at that point, I think he was like 21 of 23 for $150 or something like that. I was like, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like that's literally to take Alex Smith's longtime nickname and put it to Justin Herbert, that is a check down Charlie.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that when watching that, but when you
Justin
see
Hurts.
the numbers. Justin Hurts is funny. When you see the numbers, it's like, wow, that really wasn't as good as I anticipated.
Yeah.
So now we sit here, Lynnell, if we can just briefly take a look ahead, because we've hit this from every angle, right? If we can briefly take a look ahead. Philadelphia lost today.
Yeah.
Good. You get a game, you get an extra day of rest because of the Monday Night Football game against Chicago. The big storyline starting on probably Tuesday. You know, Monday is going to be about recapping the game. Maybe somebody rewatches it on Monday, then you talk about it more on Tuesday. But from Tuesday on, the big storyline is going to be, is Terry going to play? Because if you add Terry McLaurin back to this offense with the way that they performed, all it does is give another dynamic playmaker to your quarterback, and it takes this offense to an even higher level. They were great today. We know that. We've been talking about that. They were great. When you get Terry back into the fold, they're going to be even better. By the way, Zach Ertz was basically a non-factor today too. So just imagine when he gets back in the fray of things, maybe this is a little bit more of what he's just going to be in 2025, because what we got in 2024, I don't know if anyone anticipated that Zach Ertz was going to be that good. He didn't have a catch today, But when you get more of these dynamic playmakers involved on offense, it's only going to raise the bar offensively. That should excite everybody as a fan of the Commanders.
Yes, it should, man. And I think that's the exciting part about this group is guys are going to start to get back healthy. We're on Terry watch, as you said, starting Tuesday. Also starting Tuesday, I'm on Sam Cosmi watch. Is he going to get back into the fold? Because right now, this offensive line's moving people. He's getting all types of time to throw in terms of dropping back to pass. I think it's all vibes right now for this group. If they get Terry back, please continue to use Luke McCaffrey.
Yes.
I think he's got something. I'm going to shut up about it. Monday, I will dedicate an entire segment to Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
He has not had a bad return yet. I haven't seen one. Even his bad returns are still getting you to the 25, 26, 27-yard line. He has an understanding for what they're doing in the return game. He finds the hole. He attacks the hole. He's been really, really impressive, man. And I love the way that they're utilizing him. I see someone in the chat saying they did this today without Terry. They did. But just imagine what it would have looked like if they had Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Because, again, they're not really – if it's not Debo, there's not a lot of weapons at the moment right now in the pass game. So you're just adding more guys for Jaden to throw to. This was the second week in a row where Debo had 8 receptions and no one else had more than 2. Bill had 2. Everyone else had 1. Adding weapons is just going to make this a lot easier. This is not like a negative thing on what they did today. This is an exciting thing on what is going to come in the future when everybody is healthy. Because the past couple of weeks, this team has been just destroyed by the injury bug. When it's the opposite, that should excite everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always at a loss for words because now I'm starting to feel like, or are they a contender? Do we have to decide yet? I know it's like premature. They're game over 500. We're 5 weeks in.
But we didn't see this quarterback play before.
No, we haven't.
I distinctly remember the last time we were in this building, which was the Thursday night game against Green Bay, leaving that and thinking, what is happening to the quarterback?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the Jaden Daniels that we thought we were going to see. Today was the Jaden Daniels that we thought we were going to have from the jump this year. And that's what puts them, in my mind, back as, hey, this is a championship-level team. Because it was always going to be about number 5. It was always going to be about him. I don't care about the defense. I don't care. It was always going to be about number 5. And if he is now back playing today, the sky is the limit for this team.
I mean, and the whole thing is, what you didn't have last year at the end is what we're now starting to see. Think about we clamored for it all offseason for the explosive running back. Now we have him, and Cliff's using him. How do you stop this group? Because think about it. If you're Washington from now on, if you're a defensive coordinator getting prepared for Washington, instead of last year where you're circling 5, you're circling 17, maybe you're circling 22 saying that badass can't beat us. So now that you've got other guys to take some of the load off, man, I think it continues to roll.
And he looked good in the leg brace.
Yeah. Looked damn good.
It wasn't a
didn't
massive,
look limited at all.
Yeah, it didn't deter him from his athleticism. He looked really, really good even with that bulky leg brace on. I thought he was really, really fantastic. Before we get out of here, Lynnell, any final thoughts? Washington moves to 3-2. They take down Los Angeles by a score of 27-10. They hold the Chargers scoreless for 3 quarters. Shout out to the defense. Any final thoughts?
Look, this is what it feels like to beat a good team, guys. I think that may be my biggest takeaway from today. 2 out of your first 4 weeks, you whipped ass against 2 teams that are going to be picking top 5 in the draft. The Raiders haven't bounced back since, and the Giants looked god-awful earlier today. You beat a team today that everyone had in their top 6. You go on every power ranking on ESPN, The Athletic, NFL.com. And not only did you beat them, Denton,